Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Understand the rights you're giving up by entering the plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently on probation anywhere?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I find there's a factual basis to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days' time served, no return back to 11804 East Colonial Drive. Abide by that trespass warning, okay? And then all imposed court costs, I'll give you a year to pay them. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you can't afford a lawyer, we would appoint one for you. Good luck.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me your name.
Gabriel.
Is it Morales as your last name?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're here in 23 MM 4105AO. You're charged with battery. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. You're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No contact with any victim. Abide by the trespass warning, and no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. And your bond will be stayed at $500.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, I would sign them. I didn't have time. I would have signed them. You grabbed them from me. You took them before I could sign them. I'll sign them right now. All right, tell me your name. All right, how do you say your last name? Thermatil? All right. Ma'am, you're here in case number 23MM4103AO. You're charged with battery. There is probable cause. And I don't have a form for the public defender. Did you fill one out? Thermatil? No, you didn't fill one out? Are you gonna hire your own lawyer?
Your Honor, I'd ask that you appoint us. She was found incompetent to proceed in a prior case.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim. You must maintain a separate residence. If you need to go back to the residence to get any personal belongings, you may go one time with law enforcement. You're not to possess weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. Your bond will remain at $500. Sign it. I can sign them all at the end. Okay. All right, tell me your name. All right, Mr. Clark Rosen, you're here in 2023 CF 7750AO. You're arrested for grand theft. And I do find that there is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim and no return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. I am revoking, well, I'm gonna stay the bond at the 500. I am revoking the bonds or RORs, I should say, and setting those at none at 23MM3876 and 23MM3800. And I'll appoint the public defender if you don't already have them. All right, tell me your name, please.
Jane Arkella Mar Harris.
All right, Mr. Harris. Paperwork. You're here in 2023 CF 6639. And that was a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for possession of MDMA. You're not to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. That bond remains at $2,000. And you also have 2023 CF 7758AO. It's possession of MDMA, possession of cocaine, and resisting an officer without violence. And I do find that there's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. In this case, I'm not sure if you have them, oh, no, you would not. And I'll appoint them in both cases. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. The bond on count 1 will remain at 1,000, count 2, 150, count 3, 100. All right, good afternoon. Tell me your name. Sorry? All right, Mr. Hunter, you got to speak up. All right, you're here in 2023 CF 7757AO. You're arrested for robbery, sudden snatching, possession of drug paraphernalia, resisting an officer without violence, and petty theft of $100 or more. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. No contact with any victim or witness. No return back to 601 North John Young Parkway. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. The bonds will stay at 1,000 and 100 on each subsequent count. All right, tell me your name.
Trevor Harper.
All right, Mr. Harper, you're here in 2023 CT 395AA. And you're charged with driving while license suspended as a subsequent offender. This is an arraignment. The PD, I don't think the PD, was the PD previously appointed in the felony? I'm not sure.
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
I believe so.
It's not pulling up on my, is there an offer?
No, Your Honor, he's on probation, or he has a
Okay.
VOP.
All right, so I'll appoint the public defender, unless you're gonna hire your own lawyer, I don't have a form.
It's an arraignment. We'll enter a plea of not guilty.
Okay, I didn't know if he was asking me to appoint the public defender, because I don't have a form. Okay. Huh? Oh, okay. All right, we'll enter a plea of not guilty and give you a pretrial date.
It's gonna be in Division 61, July 13th at 8:45 in courtroom 7C.
For an arraignment. I'm driving.
All right, good afternoon, tell me your name.
Jeff and Reese May.
All right, sir, you're here in 2023 CT 3315AO. You're here for an arraignment. This is a notice to appear. It's for operating a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. Are you on probate? Is he on probation?
No, Your
I don't know anything about anybody because I don't get face sheets, so,
No probation, Your Honor.
okay. Is there an offer? I don't know.
It's an adjudication of guilt and credit time served.
There's no, I don't think there's, it's a notice to appear, so there would be no,
Oh.
yeah. Adjudication, court costs.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you want to accept that plea? Okay.
And enter a plea of no contest.
All right, Mr. Henry Smay, is that your signature? Well, has he signed it? Okay.
Yes, Your
Is
Honor.
that your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and understand everything contained within the plea form? You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on, you said you weren't on probation, right? All right, you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I find there's a factual basis. I'll accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, impose court costs, and I'll give you a year to pay those. If not, you gotta set up a payment plan with the clerk. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you can't afford a lawyer, we would appoint one for you. Good luck. It's a notice to appear. So he doesn't.
Mhm.
It's like a citation, right? I don't know. Tell me your name.
Alicia Knight.
All right, Ms. Knight, you're here. The PD was previously appointed in your case, 23 2802. You're charged with driving while license suspended as a subsequent offender. She on probation?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, I don't know if you have two for Ms. Knight.
Oh, I do, sorry.
No, that's fine. It appears to be from the same incident. What it looks like was the officer wrote a ticket and then submitted it, so then the state filed an information. If we could just go forward on the 23 2802, that's the case where the state actually filed the information. I will then no pros the 23 CT 2742.
Okay, I think the reason why is because they filed as a subsequent offender. They added that, yeah, that's probably, and forgot to
Yes.
to merge them. Okay, and then, so it's 23 CT 2742, and the PD's appointed in that case as well. Did you want to accept the offer, Ms. Knight?
And it would be a withhold, Your Honor.
And she has 9 days credit for time served?
And she'd like to accept an interim plea of no contest, Your Honor.
Okay, and then, did you discuss with her the enhanceable offense of driving while license suspended?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, has anybody taken a look at her driving record?
I only saw one
That one, Your Honor.
Because I haven't looked at
in
it.
2022.
You need it, Judge?
I just want to make sure this isn't gonna be a major issue for her. So she's got one in 2021 that she pled to in 2022. And then that's all I see. So this would be strike two, Ms. Knight. So if you get 3 of these offenses or any qualifying offense within a 5-year period, you lose your license for 5 years.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, knowing that, you still want to go forward with the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, is that your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and understand everything contained within the plea form?
I did.
You understand all those rights you're giving up by entering the plea today?
Do.
Are you currently on probation?
Oh, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I find there's a factual basis to accept your plea in 23 2802 AO, and you understand the nature and the consequences of the plea, and I will withhold adjudication, sentence you to 9 days with credit for 9 days, time served, impose court costs and cost of prosecution, and I'll give you a year to pay those, okay? If you can't pay it within a year, set up a payment plan with the clerk of the court, all right? And if you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you can't afford a lawyer, one would be appointed for you. Does the state have an announcement in the CT case?
Yes, Your Honor. With regard to 23 CT 2742, driving with license suspended with knowledge, state announces a no pros.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All right, tell me your name, please. All right. Mr. Benjamin, you're here in 23 3959, and the PD was previously appointed. The state charged this as a misdemeanor, originally came in as a felony. You're charged with trespass in a structure. And was there an offer?
No, Your Honor, as this was a residence.
Okay.
We're going to enter a plea of not guilty, Your
All
Honor.
right, we'll enter a plea of not guilty, and
Division 81 from July 14th at 9 o'clock in courtroom 6.
All right, that's your notes.
good afternoon, tell me your name. Mr. Elliston, you're here in 2023 3961. And the Public Defender's Office was previously appointed in your case. This was charged as a misdemeanor petty theft. It's a second-degree misdemeanor and originated as a felony. Is there an offer? He has 44 days credit for time served.
Offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to the Best Buy located at 4155 Millennia Boulevard. There's also a cost of investigation of $256 to Orlando Police Department.
Do you see where he posted bond? He said he posted bond on Seminole and this case this morning.
We don't have it yet.
We don't have it yet.
All right.
So you want to resolve it? And he would like to accept the state's offer and enter a plea of no contest, Your Honor.
Okay, is that your signature at the bottom of the plea form, Mr. Elliston? All right, did you read and understand everything contained within the plea form? All right, and petty or theft in the state of Florida is an enhanceable offense. Did Ms. George go over that with you? Okay, so just so you're aware, knowing that, you still want to accept the plea? Are you on probation anywhere? You understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation? All right, there's a factual basis from the original felony case to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 44 days with credit for 44 days time served. You can't return back to the Best Buy at 4155 Millennia Boulevard. There is a cost of investigation to the Orlando Police Department in the amount of $256, court costs and cost of prosecution. I'm gonna give you a year to pay everything, okay? Is this gonna get him out?
No, I
No,
got
he-
to
Okay, so I'll just say a year to pay from release from incarceration, because I don't know what's going on in Seminole. All right, and then if you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you can't afford a lawyer, we would appoint one for you, and they are gonna get your fingerprints. All right, good afternoon, tell me your name.
Joshua Velasquez.
All right, Mr. Velasquez, you're here, 23MM 3964AO. The Public Defender's Office was previously appointed, originated as a felony, charged as a misdemeanor, trespass in a structure. There's 54 days time served. I don't know if there's an offer.
Yes, the offer from the state is a withhold of adjudication, credit time served, no return to 11335 Rocket Boulevard. And Mr. Velasquez would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
Okay, is this gonna get him out?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is that your signature at the bottom of the plea form, Mr. Velasquez?
Ma'am.
Did you read and understand everything contained within the plea form? Understand all those rights you're giving up by entering the plea today?
You ready to-
Are you currently on probation anywhere? Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, the plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, there's a factual basis in the court file to accept your plea. I'll withhold adjudication, sentence you to 54 days with credit for 54 days time served. You're not to return to 11335 Rocket Boulevard. And there's court costs and cost of prosecution. And this is gonna get him out, you said? Okay, I'll give you a year to pay, okay? And if you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you can't afford a lawyer, we would appoint one for you. Good luck. Hi, Mr. Garcia.
Afternoon, Your Honor.
How are you?
Excellent, how are you?
Monday.
Your Honor, here on behalf of Mr. James Christopher.
Okay. Oh, okay. You're filling in for Mr. Fisher?
I thought it was Mr. Akins, but yes.
Huh?
Bryce, or Mr. Akins.
Oh, I know. Mr. Fisher was here this morning for this case.
Aha, okay. Then yes.
All right, Mr. Christopher, all right. And then this is 2013 CF 4704AO. It's a warrant, probable cause was previously found.
We're not
Actually,
contesting.
information was filed.
Correct.
And probable cause was found. All right, and you guys
Just be
have
asking for
filed
reasonable
a
bond, Your
notice.
Honor.
Yeah. And I saw you're going back to Oregon? Okay. All right. So no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. What is the standard bond for the 3-year min-man, I don't know the standard bond,
Trafficking is,
because it's just a 3-year min-man.
it's 50,000, Your Honor, but if you let me confirm that.
The 3-year?
Just a minute.
1C2. Yeah, it is a $50,000 bond. That's our standard, our bond schedule. What is his situation? Because this case has been pending for a really long time.
Your Honor, he was unaware of the warrant.
There was a motion filed by your office.
Exactly, yes, Your Honor. And he voluntarily turned himself in. He's not trying to abscond in any way.
understand. I'm just looking at the history as well, because there's a lot. California, Oregon, multiple fugitives from justice.
Your Honor, I apologize. I looked at the bond, per the bond schedule, because of the amount that is charged and the drug, over 28 grams, less than 30 or 50.
That's actually not correct. If you look at the information, it charges 4 grams or more. Yeah, it's
Okay.
incorrect on the affidavit.
Okay.
So I don't know, they just inputted it incorrectly, but it's not. It's on the information, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 counts of 4 grams or more.
Okay.
And then a bunch of F3s as well. They're all those are F1s, level 7. All right.
The 4 grams or more is 100,000.
I just looked at the schedule.
I think mine is from March.
Okay, well, why don't we do this? I don't need to go by any schedule, I'm just trying to figure out what we're doing here, so, all right, so I am gonna set the bond at 25,000 on count 1. Count 2 will be 150, count 3, 150, count 4, 150, count 5, 150. Counts 6 will be 2,500, and then 150 on each subsequent offense. Mr. Christopher, you gotta obviously come back to court. You understand that, you've hired a lawyer.
Yes.
No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I will let you leave the state of Florida, but you must return for any court appearances that you need to be at, okay? All right.
Your Honor, this was how many count information?
There's 10 counts.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Garcia. Have a good day. All right, tell me your name.
Bill Brown.
What is it?
Donald Ayers, Your Honor, is behavior.
Okay.
That's a waive, Your Honor.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender in Donald Ayers, 23 MM 4099 AO. And for trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause, no return back to Commission Beer Chamber. No contacts with any victims or witnesses. That bond will stay at 500. I am revoking 23 CF 6690 and setting that at none, and I'll appoint the public defender if he doesn't already have them. It's like there's also a VOP
Yes.
that he needs to get served with? Okay. But I don't have that yet? Okay. All right, are you, Mr. Brown? Tell me your full name.
Bill Foster Brown Jr.
All right, Mr. Brown, you're here in 23 MM 4096AO. It's a petty theft. I do find that there is probable cause. Was there an offer?
No, Your Honor.
But he qualifies for pretrial
All
release.
right.
I would
I'll-
ask for pretrial release.
I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You may not return back to the Family Dollar Store at 3015 South Rio Grande. No contact with any victims or witnesses. I am going to place you on pretrial release. Tell me your name.
Canto Michael.
All right, Mr. Canto, you're here in 23 MM 4097AO. It's a trespass on property after warning. There is probable cause. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, the offers and adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to 12195 South Orange Blossom Trail, and court costs, and Mr. Cantos would like to accept,
Okay.
and enter a plea of no contest.
Mr. Canto, is that your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes.
Did you read and understand everything contained within that plea form?
Yes.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea today?
Yes.
Are you currently on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes.
All right, I find there's a factual basis to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days, time served. No return to 12195 South Orange Blossom Trail. There's court costs, and I'll give you a year to pay those. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you can't afford a lawyer, we would appoint one for you. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Did Sylvia Ellis bond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. R.O.R., okay. Tell me your name, please.
Edward Gibson.
All right, Mr. Gibson, you are here in
Oh, I'm sorry.
23 MM 280AA. It's a trespass, and I do find that there is probable cause. Was there an offer?
They conveyed an offer of an adjudication of guilt, 3 days in the Orange County Jail with credit for 2 and no return to 430 East Main Street. Mr. Gibson would like, Gibson would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest. And in exchange for the plea, Your Honor, I'd ask that you take no action on the out on bond.
Okay, well, I can't do anything on the Berg dwelling because that's Judge Harris's case, and I don't have permission to revoke any of her bonds. The other ones, I won't take any action on.
Thank you,
as
ma'am. I
misdemeanors.
start working at Walmart on the
Okay.
20th.
All right, Mr. Gibson, is that your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and
Wait.
understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes, I do.
Do you understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, there's a factual basis to accept your plea. I will adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days with credit for 2 days, time served.
Thank you.
And you are not to return back to 430 East Main Street in Apopka, Florida.
Just saw a lady that goes to our church and said-
And there's court costs, and I'll give you a year to pay those.
Oh.
If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you can't afford a lawyer, one would be appointed for you.
Thank you. This is going to really help me because I can still work my job at Walmart. I start on the 20th. I just did the third interview a few
Okay,
days ago.
Mr. Gibson, make sure you don't miss any court dates that you have in your other misdemeanor cases, okay?
Absolutely not. The 22nd is my next one coming up. I keep it memorized. Thank you. God bless you.
Ms. Graves is medical.
Okay,
Can we reset for tomorrow? There's an offer to resolve, Your Honor.
sure. Graves, medical.
Medical.
Tell me your name. right, Mr. Howard, do you have another face sheet, Robin? This one was blank, okay. 23MM418AW, it's a resisting an officer without violence. There is probable cause. I don't know if there was an offer.
Does he have history? I don't have, my sheet is blank, Your Honor.
It says one unknown, but I don't know if that's an arrest or, but it doesn't say, it says for convictions, none. But he's out on bond for multiple things.
Oh, he is?
I don't know, our sheet's blank, so I don't have any of the out on bonds. I don't.
I don't have a gold form, but it's an out on bond in 23 CF 4411 for domestic violence battery, aggravated battery, the pregnant victim, robbery, sudden snatching,
It's 23
theft,
44.
4411.
Three. This was back. Oh, so there was an offer of a withhold of adjudication credit time, sir. He already has somebody posting the bond for the resisting, and given that, he's been arrested for this, the out on bond, but has not, there's no information filed from what I can see. I would ask that you stay the bond and take no action on the out on bond. It was back from April 4th, it appears, and no information has been filed to date. Because he hasn't been convicted of anything, I wanted to see if.
Okay, so, I'm gonna stay the bond at the 1,000, and I'm just gonna warn you, Mr. Howard, if you're driving around with people with stolen guns and drugs and you're out on release, okay? Next time you come back, chances are it's not gonna end up this way, okay? So, stay home and stay away from anybody that might get you into trouble. So, I'm not gonna take any action on the out on release case, and I'll just stay the bond. Okay. Tell me your name.
My name is going to be Antoine Myers.
All right, do we have a face sheet for him? Yes, sure. Okay. Mr. Myers, 23MM41112AO. Thanks, Robin. You're charged with open carrying weapons or firearms, and there is probable cause, and I don't know if there's an offer.
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. No drugs or alcohol no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. And,
Mr. Myers.
yeah, he's qualified, so
okay.
I'm gonna release you on pretrial release, Mr. Myers, okay?
Roberto Sirianni, behavior.
Okay, was, it's George, I don't know what you want to, I don't know if there's an offer. or anything.
There's actually an offer to resolve. Could we reset for tomorrow, Your Honor? And I'll waive if he does not come.
Okay, so we'll reset Siriani. Tell me your name.
Darius Thomas.
Okay, Deborah Smoot was next for me. Oh, great, okay. All right, Mr. Thomas, you're here in 23 MM 4110 AO. It's a resisting an officer without violence and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. You don't qualify for the public defender. You make too much money. Was there an offer to resolve it?
It's a withhold of adjudication and credit time served.
As a friend of the court, Your Honor, I did not see any type of convictions. So I'd
Well,
ask,
he has a lot going on in Georgia. He's had failures to appear, he's got cases pending, an outstanding warrant, an open case. Page 2 of his face sheet.
no, we'll get out. No, they just like prove it. So you might get qualified for program.
I'm sorry.
What do you want?
Otherwise, he's gonna be coming back here. I don't know if he wants to come back, but
Yeah, because you're from Georgia, right?
Yeah.
he's gonna have to hire a lawyer because I can't appoint you, so.
Because you're from out of state, so. Yeah. Can I get, I'm gonna get a plea form, Your Honors.
Okay.
Yeah.
You would like to accept the state's offer and enter plea of no contest?
Okay, Mr. Thomas, is that your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you read and understand everything, or Miss George go over it with you?
Yes, she did.
All right, do you have any questions about it? All right. Are you on probation anywhere? You understand if you're not a US citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation.
Yeah,
All right, did I ask you if you're on probation? I can't remember.
ma'am. You just did.
Okay. All right, I do find there's a factual basis to accept your pleas as charged, and I'll withhold on each count, give you credit for the 1 day that you've served in the Orange County Jail on each count to run concurrent, impose court costs, and I'll give you a year to pay those. If you'd like to set up a payment plan with the clerk, you can, if you haven't paid it within the year. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentences, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you can't afford a lawyer, one would be appointed for you. Good luck.
You can return back to Georgia. You can return back.
Well, he pled, so he doesn't have a case. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Miss-
I'm sorry?
It's medical, Wilson?
There's an offer to resolve. Could we reset for tomorrow?
Okay. I'm not gonna reset 1,000 cases, but I'll reset it.
Okay.
I know it's not 1,000, I'm exaggerating. Okay. Tell me your name.
Richard Abreu, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Abreu, you're here in 23 MO 825AO. It's a disorderly conduct. There's probable cause. Is there a resolution?
It's a withhold and credit time served, Your Honor.
I lost my plea form.
Does he want to accept that offer?
Does that even mean?
Yeah, I don't know where the plea form went. Your Honor, do you have the case number 23?
23 MO 825AO. All right, Mr. Abreu, is that your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you read and understand everything contained within the plea form?
All the stuff I went over in there.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. Do you understand all those rights you're giving up by entering the plea today?
Yeah.
Are you on probation anywhere? Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Correct.
All right, I'll accept your plea, I'll adjudicate you, is it a withhold? Withhold adjudication, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days' time served, impose court costs, I'll give you a year to pay. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you can't afford a lawyer, we would appoint one for you.
So. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
Mr. Anderson.
Tell me your name.
Say your name.
Paul Anderson.
All right, Mr. Anderson, you're here in 23 MO 826AO. You were arrested for being an unauthorized occupant in an unfinished building. And I do find that there is probable cause. And is there an offer?
Adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to 705 Woods Avenue. And Mr. Anderson would like to accept and enter a plea of no contest.
Okay, Mr. Anderson, is that your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
Yeah.
She can't hear you.
Yes.
All right, did you read and understand everything contained within the plea form?
Yes.
You understand the rights you're giving up by entering the plea?
Yes.
Are you on probation anywhere?
No.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah.
All right, there's a factual basis to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days' time served. You're not to return to 705 Woods Avenue. And I'll impose court costs. I'll give you a year to pay. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you can't afford a lawyer, we would appoint one for you. Good luck. All right, tell me your name, please.
Brian Reeves.
All right, I had Tajon McGee. Okay. Mr. Reeves, you are here in 2023 MO 828 AO. You were arrested for urinating or defecating in public. I do find that there's probable cause. Was there an offer?
The offer from the state is an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and Mr. Reeves would like to accept the state's offer and enter a plea of no contest. Your Honor, do you have the last three of the case number?
It's 8, what did I say? 828. Thanks, Ann. All right, Mr. Reeves, was that your signature at the bottom of the plea form there?
Yes.
Did you read and understand everything contained within that plea form?
Yes.
You understand all the rights you're giving up by entering the plea today?
Yes.
Are you currently on probation anywhere?
No.
You understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Yeah.
All right, there's a factual basis to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days with credit for 2 days' time served, impose court costs, give you a year to pay. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you can't afford a lawyer, we would appoint one for you. Good luck. I didn't appoint the deputy. He filled the form out. right, tell me your name.
Corey Jackson.
All right, Mr. Jackson, you're here in 2023 CT 3982AO. You were arrested for DUI with property damage to a person or DUI with damage to property or person of another. And there is probable cause. I don't have a form for the public defender. Did you fill one out?
No, ma'am.
No. Are you gonna hire your own lawyer
I was going to for the DUI, yes, ma'am.
for the DUI?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I won't appoint the public defender to represent you. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, no contact with any victims or witnesses in the case. I'll stay the bond at the 500. You're out on some bond, but I don't have authority. It's Judge Harris's case, so the state will have to file a motion to revoke bond if they want the bond to be revoked in 23 CF 1784AO. I don't know what's going on.
So I'm able to bond out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gabriel Martinez's behavior.
It's away.
Okay, so does he already have the public defender? Okay, the PD was previously appointed, 22 CT 3235AO, and the bond is set at $500. Tell me your name.
Andy Garcia.
All right, Mr. Garcia, you're here in 23 CF 7755AO. It's a grand theft of a motor vehicle. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. You're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. And that's the Chevron gas station at 1025 South Orange Blossom Trail. No contact with any victims or witnesses in the case. And the bond will remain at $2,000.
He does have an ICE hold.
Okay, and you have an immigration detainer. Was there an updated face sheet or? Oh, because it's not on my face sheet. No, I'm being advised that you have an immigration detainer. Okay, yeah, no, I don't have that one. And, so they should come and see you. Okay? All right, tell me your name, please. All right, Ms. Barraza, you're here in 23 CF 7746AO. You were arrested for 4 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia and 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance without a valid prescription. I do find that there's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. And no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Your bond on count 1 through 4 will be 100, count 2 will be 1,000, count 6 will be 150.
I apologize, Your Honor. So the first actual drug possession is 1,000 or 2,000?
1,000 and then 150?
Thank you.
What? Yeah, I did. You said possession of drug paraphernalia or?
No.
Oh, yeah. So it's 100, 100, 100, 100, 1,000, 150.
Thank you.
Okay.
1,000. Isn't that what I wrote down? Okay. Tell me your name.
John Paul William Brown.
All right, Mr. Brown, you're here on 23 CF 7610AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for grand theft or attempted grand theft of a motor vehicle between 20,000 and 100,000. And probable cause was previously found. I'll appoint the well, no, you make too much money. So I can't appoint the public defender. You're gonna have to hire your own lawyer. But I am gonna appoint them because I am gonna appoint them. And so no contact with any victims or witnesses. And I am revoking the other grand thefts from Osceola and 23 CF 1553 and setting that bond at none. I'll appoint the PD in that case as well if you don't already have them. This new case, the bond is already set, I believe.
Any conditions, Your Honor?
Yeah, I
Oh,
said
no
no contact. It's 1,500, no contact with any victims. Tell me your name.
Devontae Campbell.
All right, Mr. Campbell, you're here in 23 CF 7775AO. You're charged with carjacking with a weapon. That's a felony of the first degree, punishable by life. Aggravated battery and grand theft third degree of a motor vehicle. I do find that there's probable cause, and I will appoint the public defender in this case as well as your other case or cases. 2023 CF 7773AO, which is just carjacking, which is a felony of the first degree punishable by 30 years, and aggravated battery, and then also, so I find probable cause for that, and then a resisting without violence, there's probable cause in 23 MM 4113AO. State want to be heard as to bond on the carjacking with a weapon.
Yes, Your Honor, that is a punishable by life offense. Defendant is not entitled to a bond, and state would ask defendant be held no bond.
And Ms. George?
We will have an Arthur hearing in the trial division.
All right, so I'm gonna hold you, Mr. Campbell, at no bond on count one of the 237775. Your attorneys will file a motion in the trial division. The $5,000 bond will remain. Count three will be $150. You're not to have any contact with any victim, witness, or co-defendant. You're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred, and no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. In 23 CF 7773AO, no contact with any victim, witness, or co-defendant, no return to the scene, and no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. That bond will remain at $20,000 and $150. And then in the resisting, there's a $500 bond that will remain as set. Tell me your name, please.
Kyle Chase.
All right, Mr. Chase, you're here in 23 CF 7762AO. You were arrested for battery on a law enforcement officer and resisting an officer with violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender in both of your cases. Also 23 MM 4108. That's trespass on property after warning and resisting without violence. There's probable cause. And so for conditions of release on both case, no contact with any victims, no return, no weapons. And 2,500 will remain on count one, 150 on count two, and on the MM case, 500 on count one, 100 on count two. Tell me your name.
Evan Coleman.
All right, Mr. Coleman, you have 23 CF 7774AO. It's a carrying a concealed firearm and a possession of cannabis more than 20 grams with a weapon. I find probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Do you have an updated face sheet, Robin? It's just blank.
Is there any way I could include something? Like, could I say something or no?
Like I said, a lot of them were blank.
She's only setting.
He said that.
Don't.
All right, no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription.
What was that?
I said no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, no weapons or firearms without,
Nope.
sorry, no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition.
That shit don't make
All right, I'm gonna
sense.
stay the bond at on the carrying concealed at 2,500. Count two will be 2,500 as well.
I got a high bond. That's my problem. So this 3,000 for my bond.
Tell me your name, please.
Daquan Cook Barnes.
All right, Mr. Cook Barnes, you're here in 2021 CF 7318. You were charged with fleeing and attempting to elude a law enforcement officer, and probable cause was previously found pursuant to a warrant. And I'm setting your bond at 2,500.
So, question. Question. So,
Why don't you ask Ms. George? And did I appoint the PD?
No.
Did he fill out a form for the PD? Okay, I'll appoint the PD.
Your Honor, he does live in Columbus, Georgia too, so if he is able to travel back to Georgia.
Sure. But I didn't put him on pretrial.
No.
Oh, okay,
So, just information.
okay.
He didn't, oh. And oh, you said he didn't qualify? You guys screened him? Oh, okay. Yeah. You're gonna have to, you can't post it. I don't. Post the bond, yeah. Is there? If you can't, do that, call the attorney back. If you can't get the family member. Okay, then good.
All right, tell me your name, please. All right, Ms. Fournier, you're here in 22 CF 13795. It's a failure to appear. And the judge did set your bond at 1,000. Does she already have the public defender? Yeah, PD was already appointed.
Yes.
Okay.
My mom already paid the bond, I think. But when was I supposed to appear?
We're moving on.
All right, tell me your name.
Alex Francis, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Francis, you're here in 23 CF 7752AO. It's a petty theft with 2 or more prior convictions, battery, and a resisting a merchant. And there is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with any victim or witness, no
All right.
return back
Yes, ma'am.
to the Total Wine and More.
I won't, ma'am. I promise.
And no weapons, firearms, or
No,
any ammunition. Your bond is 1,000 on count 1, 500 on count 2, and 100 on count 3.
Dondrick Cook, Your Honor, is medical.
Fence away,
Medical.
medical.
All right, 23 CF 7769AO, I'll appoint the public defender. They're waiving his appearance. It's possession of MDMA. There's probable cause. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, and the bond is 1,000. He's ROR'd on both of these out of releases. One's been filed on. I'm gonna revoke on 23 CF 5269AO and set that bond at 2,500. I'll take no action on 23 CF 631AO. Tell me your name.
Day Johnson.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're here in 23 4114 AO. It's a resisting an officer without violence. And I find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender in all three of your cases. 23 CF 7778 AO, that's carjacking with a weapon, punishable by life felony, and aggravated battery and grand theft third degree. All of those I find probable cause as well. And then in 23 CF 7772 AO, it's carjacking and aggravated battery. Gesundheit. I also find probable cause. So on the resisting, that bond will stay at 500. State wish to be heard as to count one on 7778.
Yes, Your Honor. Again, this is a punishable by life offense. Defendant is not entitled to a bond, and state would ask defendant be held no bond.
And we will have an Arthur hearing, Your Honor.
Hold Mr. Johnson at no bond on count one, and the public defender's office will file a motion to be heard in the trial division. Count two will be 5,000. Count three will be 150. No contact with any victims, witnesses, or co-defendants. No return to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No weapons, firearms, or ammunition. Same conditions on the other case, and the bond will remain set at 20,000 and 150. Again, same conditions.
Mr. Johnson refused, Your Honor?
Okay.
It's a waive.
Okay, so this was previously a John Doe, I think they've identified, 23 CF 7745. It's a resisting trespass and providing false ID to law enforcement, resisting with, excuse me, violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender, and they've waived. No weapons, firearms, or ammunition, abide by the trespass warning, and no return. The bond will remain at 1,000 on count one, 100 on count two, and 100 on count three. Yeah. Was it a refusal?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me your name.
Shannon Jones.
All right, Mr. Jones, you're here in 21 CF 6972. These were failures to appear for trial management on July 13th of 22, and the judge did revoke and set your bond at none. Does he already have the public defender?
Yes,
or
Your Honor. Oh, he does?
The private lawyer? I don't know.
I've seen him in our system. I have,
Mr. Horween?
you have private for all? So in 2021 CF 6972.
That's all I have.
I had that we were appointed.
Mr. Horween represents, that's the only case number I have.
Yeah, that was the last notes I had. It was still open in our system.
Let me look, because I see Mr. Horween,
He stated he hasn't had any contact with the attorney, so I'm
well,
not.
he needs to try to contact him.
Well, you're gonna have to call him. Cause I,
Looks like he filed a notice of appearance in March of 22.
yeah, I see it now.
Yeah. So you'll have to contact Mr. Horween's office. He's your attorney. There's nothing that I can do. Huh? Well, then you have to, then, okay. not, that's, you gotta contact him. If you don't want him as your lawyer anymore, he can file a motion to withdraw. And then the court will either set that for hearing or determination of a council date. I can't change your bond either way. Okay,
Just trying to say that,
there's nothing.
I was looking at 7 months probation in the last conversation. I spoke with him, and then I
I
got,
can't, Miss Georgia, I can't hear him, so I don't know what he's saying.
last time I spoke with the attorney, he said they wanted me 7 months probation, and I
Okay.
had no ride here. I
You
live in
can't play
Georgia.
anything out here today anyway. It's a
No,
felony.
I wasn't
I
saying
don't
that.
know. What are you asking me?
How do I contact him, and can I get his phone number, and I can try to call him from the jail? Because last time me and him spoke, he said they had a plea agreement for 7 months, and they're gonna need me here in person. And I had no ride here. I had no transportation to get here.
Okay, I don't have anything to write on.
I have it, if you can give me the phone number, Your Honor, I can write it.
Okay, it's 407-644-0554.
And it is, there you go. This is his name. You're gonna have to call him. Right now. So you're gonna have to call him.
All right, tell me your name, please.
Kwame King.
All right, Mr. King, you're here on a warrant 23 CF 7232. Probable cause was previously found for aggravated fleeing and looting with property damage, reckless driving, leaving the scene of an accident, and resisting an officer without violence. And I don't have a form for the public defender. Were you gonna hire your own lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No contact with any victim or witness, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription based on information provided, not based on the charges, but based on the affidavit for arrest warrant. And then you do qualify for a pretrial release. I am gonna place you on pretrial release. All right, thank you.
Kyle Lee, bonded. Omani Lewis, bonded.
Tell me your name, ma'am. All right, Ms. Lozama, you're here in 2023 CF 7768. It's a burglary of a dwelling, trespass on property after warning, possession of MDMA, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I don't have a form for the public defender. Did you fill one out?
No mind,
I really don't think that's a good idea.
because honestly, I can't really prove it. The lease is under my name and my aunt's name. It's
Okay.
Cypress Point.
Ms.
I'm not
Lozama,
stressed.
you're being recorded and everything that you say can be used against you, so I have to advise you of that.
Definitely, I know that. And then I just got sexually assaulted, and I was telling them that I opened my door while packing.
I'm gonna
with
appoint the
gunpoint in
public
my face.
defender.
I understand, and I know, because they really did some wrong stuff, and somebody told me to
Okay.
explain to the judge first and go to the courthouse.
Ms.
and do it.
Lozama, you need to stop talking, okay? All right. You're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No contact with any victims or witnesses, and no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Your bond will remain at 5,000 on count 1, 100 on count 2, 150 on count 3, and 100 on count 4. You are out on release or bond in multiple cases. I'm gonna revoke those releases in 23 CF 1429 and 23 CF 16591. Set those bonds at none at this time, and I'll appoint the public defender if you don't already have them. Signature's getting bad. Tell me your name.
Johnny McGee.
All right, Mr. McGee.
Third.
You're here in 23 CF 7754AO. You were arrested for battery on a person 65 years of age or older. I do find that there's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. No weapons, firearms, or ammunition. You must maintain a separate residence. If you need to return back to the residence, you may go one time with law enforcement to get any personal belongings. Your bond is set at $5,000.
5,000?
You're out on release for aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. But I'm not taking any action. It hasn't been filed on. It's a domestic violence, hasn't been filed on yet.
So 10% you can buy.
It's been since March.
You have an add-on bond. She could hold you in the bond.
Yeah. Oh, no, it was maintain separate residence, one-time return, no contact, no weapons.
Trayvon Nelson bonded.
Okay. Tell me your name.
Joy Nicholas.
All right, so you're here in 23 CF 5765. You are arrested pursuant to a warrant for fleeing and attempting to elude a law enforcement officer, reckless driving and resisting an officer without violence, and probable cause was previously found. You don't qualify for the public defender. You make too much money, so I can't appoint them. You're gonna have to hire your own lawyer. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. That's based on information gleaned from the affidavit and the arrest warrant. No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition, as well as what was in the arrest warrant. And then I'm gonna place you on pretrial release, okay?
Thank you.
Louis Rivera refused.
Appoint the public defender, 23 CF 7751AO. And the public defender's appointed, they're waiving possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia, there's probable cause, no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, the bond will be $1,100. Tell me your name.
Robin Taylor.
All right. You're here in 23 CF 7763. It's possession of MDMA, possession of cannabis, less than 20 grams, and possession of drug paraphernalia. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. The bond will stay at 1,000. Count 2 will be ROR. Count 3, 100.
There you go.
Jason Treadwell bonded.
Tell me your name. Tell me your name.
Lamar Wood.
All right, Mr. Wood, you're here in 2023 CF 7760. You were arrested for petty theft with 2 prior convictions and a scheme to defraud. And there's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. No return to the scene, no contact with any victims or witnesses, and the bond will remain at 1,000 on each count.
What happened with Coy Potter, 22 CT 3038?
That was the one I gave you, Robin, that we didn't have the face, we only had the face sheet, and you said that they bonded,
Oh,
Oh, yes.
okay.
right? Anything else?
Nothing from the state.
Okay. There's some folks out there, I don't know what they're, or a gentleman out there, I don't know if he's here for anything. We're done, so I don't know if he's here for somebody. Here you go, Robin. All right, are done for the day.
I do have a.
All right. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Can you tell me your name?
Lindsay Parks.
Okay, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in, please? You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, and then you said Lindsay Parks?
Yes.
All right, and then how do you know Mr. Love?
That's my child's father. We're together.
Okay, and do you live together?
Yes.
Have there been instances of violence in the past between the two of you?
No.
So law enforcement's never been called to the home or?
No.
Okay. Are you afraid of him?
Am I what?
Afraid of him?
No.
Do you want to have continued contact with him through the pending of this case?
Yes.
Are you concerned for the safety of anyone else living in the home, any, your child specifically?
No.
Okay. It looks like DCF was contacted because the child was present. Does anyone else have any questions?
No, Your Honor, nothing from the state.
Other from defense.
Okay, so, Mr. Love, I'm gonna allow contact. It's non-hostile, non-violent contact. That means no pushing, shoving, biting, kicking, getting in her face, being mean to her, raising your voice at her. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so if things get heated, go for a walk around the block.
Yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
Do something else, okay? I am gonna order that you not possess weapons or firearms or any ammunition, and that you comply with any Department and Children and Families investigation. I am gonna place you on pretrial release, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, he should be processed and released in a couple hours.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
The attorney's number.
Can't wait to get up. Oh, I'm sorry.
This is yours.
So what I gotta do?
Nothing. That's yours to take with you.
Good morning, tell me your name.
Rashad Battle.
Mr. Battle? Okay, Mr. Battle, looks like this was reset from the other day. You're charged with disorderly conduct in 23 MO 820AO. I do find that there is probable cause. Was there an offer?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe the offer is an adjudication of guilt, credit, time served. And Mr. Battle would like to accept the state's offer and enter a plea of no contest.
Okay, and then is that three days? 2 days? 2 days, okay.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
The offer that I have, if that's the case, is it was an adjudication in 3 days, Orange County Jail, with the credit for the 2 days that he had already served.
So I think he would get out by the end of the day today?
That's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't.
All right, Mr. Battle, I'll have you raise your right hand to be sworn in. Is that other hand, I think? Okay. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, is that your signature at the bottom of the plea form?
The one that I just signed?
Yeah. Okay. Did you read and understand everything on it?
No, I didn't actually read it.
Okay, let's get you back there to read it.
It's what we went over.
Well then, if that's the case, if it's the same paper that I spoke with,
We went over it in the back, Your Honor.
Okay, so Miss George went over it with you, and you understood everything? Did you have any questions about it?
no, ma'am, my only question is, the credit is time served.
Well, it's 3 days, Orange County Jail. You've got 2 days today. I think your third, the offer's 3 days, so by the end of the day, you would get out.
Today.
Yeah, today.
I don't know if that's 11:59, but you get out today. Okay? All right, and are you on probation anywhere?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will subject you to deportation?
Understood.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would prevent you from understanding what we're doing here today?
No, ma'am.
All right, I find there's a factual basis to accept your plea. I'll adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days with credit for 2 days, time served, impose court costs. I'll give you a year to pay those. If you can't pay it within a year, set up a payment plan with the clerk of the court. If you'd like to appeal the judgment and sentence, you must do so in writing within 30 days. If you can't afford a lawyer, we would appoint one for you. All right, good luck. No. Tell me your name.
Elijah Infante.
All right, and then is this formerly John Doe?
Yes.
Okay, all right, and you said Infante?
Infante, like infant with the E.
Okay, all right, were they, so it's 2023 MM 3822. PC was previously found and imposed a no return back by Judge Carter back on June 2nd. And so I don't need to find probable cause again. It said family trying to post bond but need to be ID'd. Did you want to try to resolve it?
Yes.
Okay, was there an offer?
No, Your Honor.
No? Okay. Okay. All right, so there's no offer from the state today. It looks like it's an individual.
Can I have the spelling of his first name and I can see if I can get something that, we didn't know who he was, so we couldn't make
Okay.
an offer.
What's the first name again?
Elijah
Elijah Infante.
Infante.
Is it I-N or E-N?
No, it's IN.
Yeah, like infant.
Okay.
Yeah.
The E's at the end.
Do you want to recall him at the?
Yes, we can.
Okay, we'll recall you to see if we can get an offer for you, okay? All right. I'll just hold on to it. Did PTR,
Your Honor, yeah, no one, he wasn't screened at the time. I'm going to send it.
did they ID him?
They did, but I'm gonna have them.
Okay, because we have a face sheet with nothing on it, with not even his name on it. Okay.
I'm bigger than.
All right, tell me your name.
Natasha Howard.
All right, Ms. Howard, you're here in 23 MM 4080 AO. It looks like you were previously seen by Judge Bain. He appointed the PD, found probable cause, and imposed certain conditions of release and placed you on pretrial release. And it looks like pretrial just needs me to advise them that you can return home to Missouri. So I'm going to give you permission to return home to Missouri. Just make sure you don't miss any court dates if you have any court dates. Okay? If you do, there'll be a warrant. Okay? All right. Good morning. Tell me your name.
Desiree Custodio.
What was it? I have Josu Rivera next. Okay, so for Mr. Rivera, 23 MM 4075, it looks like he's charged with trespass and resisting. There is probable cause. And then I'll appoint the public defender's office.
I will be the apparent.
Okay, all right, and so no return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred, no contact with any victims or witnesses, and the bond will stay at 500 and 100. All right, and you said Custodio? Okay, I think we had a co-defendant as well. It looks like Creighton or Clayton. Creighton or Clayton. It's in the misdemeanor. It's the first one in the misdemeanor stack. All right, good morning. Can you tell me your name?
Charlie Creighton.
Okay, I need you to get by the microphone and I need you to speak louder for me.
Charlie Creighton.
Okay, and then Ms. Custodio, you're here in 23 CF 7756 AO. You're charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon as domestic violence. And then Mr. Creighton, you're charged in 23 MM 4101 AO with battery domestic violence. I do find that there is probable cause for both of these offenses. And I'm gonna appoint the public defender, Ms. Custodio, to represent you in your case. Mr. Creighton, you're not gonna qualify for the public defender. You make too much money. Okay, so I can't appoint them to represent you. You'll have to hire a lawyer if you wanna do that, okay? Can you both raise your right hands to be sworn in for me? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, and then Ms. Custodio, how do you know Mr. Creighton?
My boyfriend of 2 years.
Okay, do y'all live together? No. Do you want to have contact with him? No? Okay. And then so I'm just gonna order no contact for both of you, okay? So I'll have you sign the no contact orders. It appears as though from the charging affidavit that, you're not living together anymore, correct?
Yes, ma'am, correct.
Okay, all right, so you're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with each other. And then, Ms. Custodio, you're living at the address where the incident is alleged to have occurred?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and Mr. Creighton, you're not living there? No. Okay, so I'm gonna order that you not return back there, okay? So you're not to return back to her residence. You're both to maintain separate residences. You're not to possess weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. It looks like DCF was contacted, so I am gonna order that you comply with any DCF investigation that may be pending. Mr. Creighton, you do qualify for pretrial release. I am gonna release you on pretrial release. Did she not qualify?
Charge, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna set the bond at 1,500 on, Ms. Custodio. All right, good luck to both of you. All right, good morning. Tell me your name.
Robert Diaz.
All right, Mr. Diaz, you're here in 23 CF 7753 AO. You're charged with possession of cocaine, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and battery domestic violence. Do you find that there is probable cause? I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. You're not to have any contact with any alleged victim or witness. You're to maintain a separate residence. You're not to possess weapons, firearms, or any ammunition, and you're not to possess or consume any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. Your bond on count 1 is $150. Your bond on count 2 is $5,000. Your bond on count 3 is $500. Good luck.
Thank you.
You have Jean Carlos Echeverria. It's in medical.
Medical? Okay.
Defense or waiver?
Oh, I'm so sorry, but he doesn't have a, no, he didn't have a, I wasn't the.
What? Medical? Okay. And Ms. George, are you waiving or?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender. They're waiving his appearance in 2023 CF 7748 AO. He's charged with burglary of a structure with an assault or battery, criminal mischief over 1,000, resisting an officer with violence or without, excuse me, and then battery, domestic violence. There is probable cause. And count 1 is a PBL.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, state is asking defendant be held no bond.
Okay, Ms. George?
And we'll have an Arthur hearing, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold him at no bond on count 1, and the public defender's office can file a motion for an Arthur hearing within a reasonable amount of time pursuant to junior. Count 2 will be set at 2,500, count 3 will be 500, count 4, 500. And I am revoking 23 CF 5574 AO. I have the permission of everyone but one felony circuit judge, and this does not fall in her division. So I'm revoking that bond, setting the bond at none. It looks like the PD's previously appointed in that case as well. Anything else we needed to address?
Your Honor, are you doing any conditions for this?
Oh, I'm sorry, yes. Thank you, Ms. Eugene. So no contact with the victim in the case or any witnesses, no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition, no return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. And that's that. Thank you. All right, tell me your name.
Matthew Jarvis.
All right, Mr. Jarvis, you're here in 23 CF 776780. You're charged with domestic violence, battery by strangulation. I do find that there is probable cause for that offense. I'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim in the case. No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. You must maintain a separate residence. And I am gonna place you on pretrial release, okay? All right, good morning. Tell me your name.
Jose Colon.
All right, Mr. Jose Colon, you're here in 23 CF 7691. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for the offenses of burglary of an occupied dwelling, battery, domestic violence, and aggravated stalking with a credible threat. And I will appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim or any witnesses in the case. You must maintain a separate residence. You're not to return back to the victim's residence. No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. And DCF was contacted, so you must comply with any DCF investigation pending. Your bond on count 1 is set at $7,500. Count 2 is set at $500, and count 3 is set at $1,000. We just need a box that says comply with DCF.
Oh, I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
I know.
Like we did with, yeah. Good morning, tell me your name.
Robert Tool.
Mr. Toole, okay, you're here in 2023 CF 7776AO. You were arrested for battery, and it appears to be, it says battery, charges battery, but it's in my domestic violence, but it's not charged as domestic violence. And then there's battery on a person 65 years of age or older. You guys are cousins, so it is domestic violence. All right, there is probable cause for these offenses. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you, not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim. Must maintain a separate residence. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. And Mr. Toole, I'm going to place you on pretrial release, all right? Make sure you comply with those conditions.
One question. I'm my mom's sole caretaker.
One-
I live in the same house, but I still have to pick her up for.
One time, you cannot have contact.
So I have to call her up and have her come out of the
You
house.
can't have contact.
With her.
Listen, with the alleged victim.
That's my mom, it's my mom's house that they live at. I'm her sole caretaker. How would I pick her up and take her to the doctor and do her medicines and stuff like that?
Well, the alleged victim is the cousin.
Right, but they live at the house we all live at. It's my mom's house.
Your Honor, there's actually two victims.
Okay,
There's the
two
person over 65, and then there's the cousin. I think it's the cousin and his father are the two victims. But I don't believe that it's a female.
I didn't read, I didn't read a female.
Right. But I guess he's saying that one of the victims lives with the mother?
This is victim one uses, the address as a mailing address. Victim two is,
I didn't read anything about a female, so. I don't have the female, if that's your mom, listed as a victim.
She's not a victim.
Okay, so you can have contact with your mom.
That's
Yeah.
all I want to know.
You can't, you have to maintain a separate residence from the alleged
Right, that's-
victims,
that's okay.
okay? I'll allow you one-time return back to get any personal belongings. You can have contact with your mother.
Okay, that's all, but I just want to make sure that it's doing things.
Does your mom has a phone?
That's correct.
You can call your mom?
I could call her, have me be at the driveway, then we can go from there.
Okay, you just stay away
Not
from
now.
the others until it's changed in writing, okay? Make sure you have a copy of the no contact order and you understand it,
Yeah, I read it.
okay? So one-time return with law enforcement to get in, you live there, correct?
I live there too. Well, I did. Now,
Well, right, but you have things there?
yeah, I'm all my stuff there.
I'm gonna give you one-time return with law enforcement. You gotta call them first before you go to the residence.
So I would call the police department, correct?
Call the Popka Police Department, tell them you have a no contact order and you're allowed one-time return to the residence. They will tell you where to go, where to meet them. Don't just go to the house,
Oh, no.
okay? Okay. All right, and I'm gonna place you on pretrial release, okay?
so Your Honor, I just want to clarify with the no contact is it with both victims or with Gregory Toole and J.C. Toole or
It's both victims.
both victims? Okay, Judge. Thank you. This is
Yeah, thank you. I was like, I didn't have one.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
All right, good morning. Tell me your name.
Wesley Ellis.
All right, Mr. Ellis, you're here in 23 MM 4115 AO. You're charged with domestic violence battery. I do find there's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim in the case or any witnesses. You must maintain a separate residence from those victims and witnesses. No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. DCF was contacted, so there is an investigation pending. You must comply with any DCF investigation. No drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. I'm gonna place you on pretrial release. Tell me your name, sir.
Marcelino Febo.
All right, Mr. FIBA, you're here in 23 MM 4093 AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim in the case. You must maintain a separate residence. You may not possess any weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. And DCF was contacted, so you must comply with any DCF investigation that there is pending. Do you have belongings at the residence?
I belong, and I live off of 6 medication. I'm a heart patient.
One-time return with law enforcement. You need to call them in advance. They'll tell you where to go to meet them, okay? And then the bond is, I'll set you on pretrial release. You do qualify. Okay. All right, have a good day. Tell me your name. All right, you're here in 23 4084AO. It's a battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. No contact directly or indirectly with the victim in the case. Maintain a separate residence, no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. Do you need to return back there to get personal things?
Yes, ma'am, but that's
One-
my house.
I understand. I'm only ordering that you maintain a separate residence. So if
Yeah.
the victim is present and living there,
No,
You
he's
can't-
not. He's with his dad.
okay, all I'm ordering is that you maintain a separate residence. I'm not telling you can't go back there. Does the victim stay there?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
He went to his,
I don't want you to talk about
Okay.
the facts, but do you suspect that if you go back there, that he will be there?
no, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm just gonna order maintain a separate residence. You can return with law enforcement if the victim is present. If they're not, then you can go back there and not have law enforcement with you, okay? All right, did I say no weapons, firearms, or ammunition? Okay, and then he does not qualify?
No, Your Honor.
Huh?
No, Your Honor.
Why? I'm not ordering him not to return.
Unable to verify community ties. We had no contacts, emergency to verify any.
All right, bond is set at 500.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, Stephen Hughes, his behavior.
Right.
However, he has a victim.
In defense.
Okay, I'll take their testimony. All right, I'll appoint the public defender, 23 284AA, and Mr. Hughes, looks like he's charged with assault on a person 65 years of age or older and criminal mischief under 200. There is probable cause, and do we have a victim? Okay. All right, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you today?
Okay.
All right,
She's that way.
all right.
Right
You-
there?
Are you both gonna give me some testimony today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you raise your right hands to be sworn in? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that microphone I know is really low there, but I need you to speak clearly into it for me. Tell me each individually your names.
I'm Laura Boatwright. I'm Judy Boatwright.
Okay, Laura and Judy, okay. All right, and then Mr. Hughes is not present in the courtroom, obviously. How do you know Mr. Hughes?
I know him from being friends for 35 years, but he was my boyfriend up until the last 6 months.
Okay, and then, how do you know him?
I went to school with him.
And then, how do you know him?
I know him through her.
Okay, do you all live together?
He moved in last year. I tried to help him out because, sorry,
It's okay.
because he was homeless at the time and all, and I felt sorry for him.
Okay, is he still living with you?
Yes.
Okay, are you afraid of him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna order no contact, directly or indirectly. No return back there without law enforcement to get any personal belongings. So he can come back to get his personal belongings, but only with law enforcement, okay? He's not to possess weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. And he's to maintain a separate residence. It appears as though he is on probation. My guess is that there'll probably be a VOP, a violation of probation filed on him at some point, maybe before he gets out, if he bonds out. I am gonna set the bond on count 1 at 1,500. Count 2 will remain at 500. Do you think any drugs or alcohol had any involvement in what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. And I think I said no weapons. Okay. Anything else you wanted to tell me?
He's been drunk since Thursday.
She said he'd been drunk since Thursday.
Okay. Well, that might be one of the reasons why he's not present. So,
And he's punched holes in her bedroom door
Yeah.
and our drywall.
okay. Well, the state attorney's office, I'm sure, would like to communicate with you about the case, so you can contact them and talk about how you want the case to proceed, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I wish you the best.
Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you. Good luck. No, yeah, just maintain a one-time return. Yeah. I don't know how long it sounds like he's been living there for a while. So. All right, good morning. Tell me your name.
Alex LaRose?
All right, Mr. LaRose, you're here in 23 MM 4090. You were arrested for domestic violence battery. I do find that there is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim. You must maintain a separate residence from the victim, no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. It looks like DCF was contacted, so you must comply with any DCF investigation. And do you have things at the residence?
No, I do not.
No? Okay. All right, your bond is set at 1,000. Tell me your name.
William Lloyd.
All right, Mr. Lawyer, here in 23 MM 281AA, you were arrested for domestic violence battery. There is probable cause. Did you fill out a form for the public defender?
No, I did
No,
not. I have an attorney.
Okay, you're gonna speak
ma'am.
with your lawyer? Okay, so I won't appoint the public defender. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim in the case. You must maintain a separate residence. You may not possess weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. You may not have any alcohol or any drugs without a valid prescription. Do you have items? Y'all live together?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Do you have items at the residence?
Excuse me, I missed that?
Your personal belongings there?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you one-time return with law enforcement to get any personal belongings that you might need, okay? Huh? Y'all work together, is that what you said? Okay, I can't help you out with that. Where do you work?
We work in her house. We're
Okay.
accountants.
Well, you're not, I mean, if
Oh,
she's
wow.
there, you can't be there.
I understand.
So you gotta find another place to work. It sounds like the type of job that you can do other places.
We can do it remotely.
Okay, you can't talk to each other, have contact with each other unless this no contact order has been modified by a court, a judge, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and then he does not qualify?
Your Honor, we could actually qualify Mr. Loy. Do you have an alternate address, Mr. Loy?
Alternate
Yes.
address? No, I can stay in a hotel or an
We
Airbnb.
can qualify, we just have to interview him, Your Honor. We can do the PTR, straight PTR.
Okay, do you want me to do PTR or
Oh,
bond?
he's working right now. He did verify that in court.
Okay, I'll just do PTR or $500 bond, okay? If he wants to bond out, he can bond out. If not, and he wants pretrial release, then sounds like they'll be able to try to qualify you, okay? All right, good morning. Tell me your name. Okay, I can't hear you, ma'am.
Good morning. My name is Amina Manraj.
Manraj? Okay. You're here in 23 MM 41070. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. Do you find that there is probable cause? I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim. You must maintain a separate residence, no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. Do you need to go back there to get any personal belongings?
Yes.
Okay, one-time return with law enforcement to get any personal belongings, and I'll place you on pretrial release. Good luck. Tell me your name.
Bruno Matisse Jr.
All right, Mr. Mertiz, you're here in 23 MM 4111 AO. You're arrested for domestic violence, battery, and criminal mischief between 200 and 1,000. I do find that there is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim or any witnesses. You're not to return back to where the offense is alleged to have occurred. No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. And your bond on count 1 is 1,000. Your bond on count 2 is 500.
Thank you, ma'am.
Tell me your name.
Shanique Sailor.
All right, Ms. Saylor, you're here in 23 MM 4117AO. It's a violation of a pretrial release condition on a domestic violence case. That domestic violence case appears to stem out of Hillsborough County. I will appoint the public defender. I do find that there is probable cause. You're not to return back to the victim's residence. You're not to have any contact with the victim or any witnesses. You're not to possess weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. I am setting your bond at 3,500.
Ma'am, I can't afford that.
Would you be willing to reduce the bond? She can't afford a $3,500 bond.
Okay, well, I'm looking at the face sheet and the fact that she's on release out of Hillsborough for a domestic violence that occurred June 9th.
But ma'am, I didn't know.
I don't want you to talk about the facts of the case. There's a prior failure to appear in 2021. There's multiple DV arrests and convictions. I'm not inclined to reduce the bond. If she can't bond out, then y'all can file a motion to reduce bond.
This is, I didn't even hit nobody. I got bit on my thumb.
Please tell me your name.
Tony Spratt.
All right, Mr. Spratt, you're here in 2023 MM 4091AO. You're arrested for domestic violence battery. I find that there's probable cause. You make too much money, so I can't appoint the public defender. You'll have to hire your own lawyer if you'd like to do that. You're not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim in the case. You must maintain a separate residence from the victim. And no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. Do you need to return back there to get any personal belongings?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No? Okay. And your bond will be set at 500. Tell me your name.
My name is Max Stringer.
All right, Mr. Stringer, you're here in 2023 MM 4109AO. You're arrested for dating violence battery. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you in your case. You're not to have any contact with the alleged victim or witness. You're not to return back to the 8001 International Drive, the Wyndham Orlando Resort. Do you still have things there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you'll need to return back there with law enforcement to get any personal belongings. You live in Illinois?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you gotta maintain a separate residence from the victim and no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. If you need a one-time return with law enforcement to your residence in Illinois, we'll put that in there as well. And then I am gonna place you on pretrial release. I have no objection to you returning back to Illinois. But you cannot miss any court dates here if the state files charges or you have any arraignment dates or anything like that, unless the Public Defender's Office waives your appearance, okay? All right.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, Kevin Velez is medical. However, he has a victim.
Okay,
We'll waive the appearance.
okay, and so Mr. Velez's medical, 2023 4106AO, the public defender's appointed, they're waiving his appearance. And good morning, can you raise your right hand for me to be sworn in? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Is that a yes? I can't hear, it's hard, the microphone's very low, I know. Can you tell me your name?
Kevin Zeiger.
I can't, you're just gonna have to
Kevin
bend down,
Zeiger.
I know it's awkward.
No worries. Kevin Zeiger.
Okay, and then how do you know Mr. Velez?
He's my partner.
Okay, and do you live together? Is that a yeah? I need you to speak out.
Yes.
Okay, are you afraid of him?
No, not.
Do you want to have contact with him through the pending of this case?
Yes.
Have there been any other instances of violence in the past?
From him. Not from him.
Not from him? Okay. So have there been other domestic violence cases between the two of you?
On me. Yes.
On your end? Okay. And what was the outcome of those?
It got dismissed.
Dismissed? If something like this were to happen again, or you felt threatened, would you call law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Did anybody else have any questions?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from defense.
Sounds like alcohol is a contributing factor.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
We've been sober for 3 months, but we decided to go out and
Yeah.
it didn't end well.
Nothing good happens when that happens, right?
We realized that.
Okay, so I'm gonna allow him to have non-hostile, non-violent contact. That means no pushing, shoving, biting, kicking, so if anything, if you feel threatened, that's a violation of the no contact or the no violent contact order, okay? There's no drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription, no weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. I am gonna place him on pretrial release. So I don't know if he'll be released today because he's in medical. So I don't know specifically for what. But you can call the jail to see if he'll be released, and when. But I don't have that information for you now.
Okay.
Okay, anything, did I forget anything?
You didn't forget anything, Your Honor, but as he is going to be on pretrial release, and you're saying no drugs or alcohol, can you also do random urinalysis?
Sure. So, random urinalysis, I don't know how often they test, but there'll be no drugs or alcohol. Okay, and he'll be subject to random urinalysis while he's on pretrial release. So hopefully you guys both stay sober.
Yes, ma'am.
It's not easy to one person to be sober and the other person not. Okay, good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Perry Wynn is behavior, Your Honor.
Okay.
Defense will waive, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Wynn, 23MM 282AA, the PD is appointed, they're waiving his appearance. And, there's no victim? Okay. And so, there's probable cause for domestic violence, battery. He's not to have any contact directly or indirectly with the alleged victim in the case. No weapons, firearms, or any ammunition. Must maintain a separate residence and a one-time return with law enforcement to get any personal belongings. And the bond is $500 or pretrial release if they're able to qualify since he has not been interviewed. All right. Good morning. Tell me your name.
Marcia Stafford.
All right, Ms. Stafford, you're in, have an out-of-county warrant out of Polk County. The judge did set your bond at none in that case. Polk County will have 24 hours to come pick you up. And if they don't within the time frame, then you'll come back before the court, but I'm sure that they will. Okay? All right, good morning. Tell me your name.
My name is Christopher Allen.
Mr. Allen? Okay. All right, Mr. Allen, you're here in 23 CF 7784 AO. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant. Probable cause was previously found for aggravated battery causing great bodily harm. And there's also a violation of probation warrant in 22 MM 2248 AO, and PC was previously found for that. You get paid weekly,
Yes.
$700?
Yes, no. What
Okay. And no dependents?
do you mean, kids? No.
No kids? Okay. And so he does not qualify? Okay. All right, so I can't appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you do have bonds in both cases. If for some reason you're not able to bond out, you can, do you have family, local family?
I've already paid the bond. It says it's pending for DNA.
Oh, yeah, just regular prints.
Well, my guess is they might violate him again for the new law, and then that would be no bond. So if that's the case, you'll come back before the court and you might qualify because you know, you wouldn't be working. But you do have a bond in the aggravated battery of 8,500 with conditions of no contact with any victim or witness and no weapons or firearms. And then in the VOP, you have a $500 bond, and there's no other hold on him?
No, You're on just the DNA. That's just extra prints that we have to do.
Okay,
So that, you'll get that taken care of.
okay, so if you can bond out, then that should, once they complete that issue, then you should be able to bond out, okay?
Like I said, I've already paid the bond already. It just says it's pending on it in the thing.
Right, they just need to do something else on their end, okay?
DNA.
They might file another VOP, I don't know, okay?
Thank you.
All right, good morning, tell me your name.
Courtney Williams Sharon.
All right, and you're here in 2016 CF 5861. It's a violation of probation. The judge did set your bond at none in that case. You don't qualify on your affidavit, but I am gonna appoint the public defender since you're being held at no bond. You're gonna see Judge Lattimore in probably a week for your arraignment on the violation of probation, okay?
Okay.
Your Honor,
Yeah?
the next defendant coming up, the John Doe, they're going to run his history again based on the name that he gave us in court. So is there any way possible maybe to move him to second session? That way we make sure he doesn't have anything active going on.
Okay, and I don't know if Miss Eugene's heard back or anything like that.
Your Honor, I wasn't able to find anything at all under that name, so I'm actually quite happy for them to do something.
Okay.
Wait till
All
second
right,
session.
and so, Mr. Infante, we're gonna call you, we have another session after the morning, we'll call you back, okay? If that is not your name, you need to let somebody know so that they can.
Security number work
Well, hold on, write it down, I don't want you to put it on the record because we're broadcasting live to America, so
Yeah, with my social.
probably not a good idea to announce your,
Make sure he has his date of birth on it too. That's correct.
do we have, and it looks like we have some other folks out there.
They're for him, Your Honor.
Oh, they're for him? Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to take that?
She has his ID.
I think they have his ID. Is that his ID? Yes. Okay, maybe that would help.
Yes, they have mine.
We're gonna call him in the second session. Unfortunately, I didn't know who you were, or I would have asked you some questions.
Veronica, if you can give me, I can probably run, can I see that?
I don't want them to have to come back,
I can probably,
because I don't know what time we'll be back.
just give me, see what I can,
We're, just hang on just a sec, okay?
one moment, please. Or if you can just,
We've got a little, we got time. Okay, I'm just signing some papers.
Your Honor, while we wait, should we do the 33-day motion?
Yeah, I'm just signing some other papers that they,
let's see the next.
my PDs in my division also asked me to set 2 pleas, but unfortunately, those informations were not filed, but I was unaware of that, so we did not bring them over. Okay, Ms. Nunzio, I guess, had requested that to appear. But I told her, or I had my assistant tell her that we don't bring the defendants over for 33 days.
This is gonna,
Twan Gwen?
What is it for? Walk-ins?
One win. And who's number 6?
Devontae Lamar Porter.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, 23 CF 5704AO, Rico Vilbrun.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Okay, 2023 CF 6144AO, Alexi Mercado.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 CF 6412, Henry Lee Caldwell.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 CF 6047AO, Alonzo Monte Stafford.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 CF 3195AO, Justin Lewis James Henderson.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 CF 6130AO, Javante Lamar Porter.
Denied, information was filed.
23 CF 4050, Miranda Lynn Watkins.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 CF 6329AO, Charles Randall Wiggins.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 CF 4214AO, Graylin Lamont Thomas.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 CF 6083AO, Francis Schaefer.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 CF 4333AO, Desmond Atkinson.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 CF 6110AO, Henry Lee Caldwell.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 CF 5915AO, Tuan Nyak Nguyen.
Denied, information was filed.
23 CF 6137AO, Verdi Michael Destin Nobles.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
23 CF 6043, Rick Henniger Caesar.
Granted, notice of non-filing.
Okay. Well, my assistant said that somebody else was, I don't really understand. is the Watkins one being granted or?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, that was 23 CF 6114AO Miranda Watkins, and that's granted.
Okay, Your Honor, I just ran his name, but I can't find anything, so I sent an email out just to give my supervisor the name and his date of birth, just to double check, please. Because he was printed, so I don't know why it didn't come up with his name. That's just strange. I won't come up with his name.
Your Honor,
I mean, he's been in since like June.
Yeah.
Since June 1st. He's been in since June 1st.
Says John Doe when you run them.
for an ROR, Your Honor.
Well, I don't have any information about him. I mean, his family's here. I'm happy to, looks like he has 3 members of the family here. I'm happy to take some testimony if the state doesn't want to make an offer today to find out his ties as well.
Your Honor, the offer is going to be a withhold as of right now. But because it's going to be a withhold and he appears to have no history, I would have no objection to an ROR, possibly because he could qualify for pretrial diversion.
Okay. They can't find any?
So I'm running his printer because he was already printed, but it just comes still under John Doe. But as it appears, he has no out-of-state history under the John Doe, not his name, and no priors.
Okay.
That's what I have running by his sitting FBI
So-
number.
Mr. Infante, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in for me? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you live here locally?
Yeah, I live in Sanford.
You can put your hand down. Is that your family out there?
Yeah, that's my mom, my brother, and my mom's fiance.
Okay. Do you live with them?
Yeah, I'm going back to stay with them.
Okay. He's gonna stay with you? Okay. They're nodding their heads. All right. So Judge Carter had already heard your case for initial appearance, and ordered that you're not to return back to the, it looks like the Sun Bay Apartments, 7001 Aloma Avenue. So you can't go back there, okay, or have any contact with any victims or witnesses at that location. Don't miss any court dates. I'm gonna appoint the public defender if they weren't previously appointed. It looks like they were. And I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance. If you don't have any criminal history or anything like that, you may qualify for a pretrial diversion program that the state runs. So, you're gonna get a court date, and that's for an arraignment. The state may or may not have made a charging decision by that day, but do not miss that court date unless the public defender waives your appearance, okay? Otherwise, you'll get a warrant for your arrest and you'll be back here and you don't want that to happen, okay? So, sorry you've been here this long, but I don't know what happened, unfortunately, and I don't think anyone does, but I apologize for that. So we're gonna release you on your own recognizance. He should be released today. They're gonna process him, and then he'll get out. But he needs to make sure he doesn't miss any future court dates if, the state makes a charging decision one way or the other, okay? If you have any questions, he is represented by the Public Defender's Office, and he'll be able to contact them, okay? Okay. I don't know what happened, so maybe we'll try to figure that out, okay? He'll be getting out today. Okay. All right, good luck. How did that happen?
I have no idea.
Your Honor, I had 2 add-ons that were set for a plea.
Yeah, we canceled them. They're my cases.
Oh, okay.
Because my PD asked my JA to set them, but no informations have been filed.
Okay.
So I can't plea them out.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I told her to tell Miss Marino that I can't
okay.
plea any cases unless it's at initial appearance. So I think that might be just something she wasn't aware of. Is there anything else that we have for the morning?
Nothing from the state.
Nothing from defense.
All right, we'll be in recess.